Hey, what's going on guys, Khraze here. Today is Wednesday, September 9th, and we have a brand new update on our hands for Marvel's Avengers. This is update 1.06 or 1.25, which should be available for all of the platforms right as we speak. It went live on the PlayStation 4 a few hours ago, but let's talk about all of the changes coming up, as well as the bigger patch that is going to drop later this week in just a couple more days. Of course, we also have a number of fixes that are going to be addressed, but there are some things that we should discuss in this video. As always, if you enjoyed it, a thumbs up on it would be super awesome, and let's jump right into it. So here are the patch fixes that we know of as of yet. There should be an updated list coming up later today, but it doesn't seem that this is going to be the one that is going to fix everything that we have in terms of problems. So it does address some of the infinite loading screens, the falling out of the world, the unlocked campaign outfits that kind of revert to being locked, and also the marketplace with the challenge cards kind of having some problems with all of those not unlocking absolutely at all. So let's discuss this. 1.2.5 will resolve the infinite loading screens. This is kind of like an infrequent buff where players are unable to progress with the campaign due to an infinite loading screen, so that is indeed fully addressed in this update. But for the falling out of world when entering the Avengers initiative, it seems that the new update only fixes like most of them but not all of them. So the majority of the instances of a partially loaded helicarrier, which results in characters falling through the world, it is going to be fixed in this new update, but there are still rare instances where this could still happen even in the new update. The only thing that changes is that now the patch ensures that loading back into the main menu and then returning to the Avengers initiative will fully resolve it. So it seems that even at this date they haven't fully addressed this and many of the other bugs. It seems that these problems require a lot more solutions, a lot more fixing, and I don't think we're gonna see a lot of these coming up too soon. Maybe even 1.30 they aren't going to contain it. I hope for the sake of the game that's not gonna be the case, because the game really needs some more polishing. You'd think that after that beta weekend it would get much better. It did get much better, but there are still so many unresolved issues. So we're gonna push through these, but we have the campaign outfits reverting back to the locked state. It seems that the previous updates on this was the fact that people got reimbursed, they got their outfits back. Well, it seems that they have fully prevented that to ever happen again in the new update, but the patch does not return outfits for those who have already encountered it. So yeah, if you lost them, they're kinda lost for now, at least until patch 1.30. So I'm not really sure exactly what to tell you, but the bad save state will be resolved only in 1.30, so you're gonna have to wait a few more days until that fully happens. So literally my heart goes out to everybody who has lost a ton of outfits. I saw a lot of players losing up to like 12 outfits throughout all of the characters. That is absolutely crazy. I lost a few, I got them back, then I lost them again, then like a couple of them got reverted, and now I have them again. And at this point I stopped changing outfits altogether. If you want to avoid any of these, don't even visit that cosmetics page over there, because that's going to cause all of these problems. They did mention this as a possible workaround, but yeah, they still pose a problem to this day. And again, my heart goes out to everybody who lost this. I hope that you can push through this and you're gonna be able to enjoy the game once more. But at the very least, there is a glimpse of hope at the end of the tunnel, because the unlocked marketplace and the challenge card outfits reverting to the locked state bug is kind of fixed in this new update. So both of these will be restored and no longer become relocked in the cosmetics inventory UI in the brand new update 1.06 or 1.2.5, depending on your platform. As I've said, there's going to be a much bigger 1.30 update later this week that's going to hopefully and supposedly fix all of these issues fully, and also address a number of other bugs that have been reported up until today. Now, I have encountered a number of other bugs when I kept playtesting, and even for the Captain America build that I just posted today, I did found a couple of problems that I am going to mention in this video too. So at some point you will encounter one of these items, for example, that has a damage buff on enemy kill, on killing 5 enemies or 3 enemies. It basically gives you the same buff, but that buff causes a major problem, and that is it basically subtracts your range rating and it adds it to your power rating, and I'm pretty sure that that shouldn't happen, especially since that change seems to be permanent unless you kinda go in and reload the checkpoint. Like for example, I think that I had about 1600 range rating on my Captain America because I want to deal more damage with the range attacks. I activated that buff by just hitting enemies with critical attacks, and what that did is that it just brought it back down to 1400. It did buff my melee rating to about 1600 from about 1200, but once the buff faded, my range rating completely dropped to 1200, so it essentially nerfed me by 400 rating, which was a lot. I even tested this out to see if it's just a visual bug or if indeed it affects my damage, and it did. So I think that my regular throws with the shield were dealing about 6000 plus white damage, and after that buff faded I was dealing just 5000. So you can imagine how much damage you're losing when that buff fades, because it doesn't have a 100% uptime. It has about 80 to 75. I think 75 is the uptime on that damage buff that it has. But there's others in the game that can be quite, well, just game breaking, like if you go in and mass salvage everything in your inventory, which by the way, hold off as of now, don't do it, because I just salvaged about like 20 items, at some point even 50, though I wasn't recording that, but I salvaged this number of items and it only dropped the equivalent of 1 item right there on the screen. Like the materials that you see, only a couple of them for each of the materials, which should be in the dozens for each of them since I am dismantling so many items at the same time. I really hope it's a visual bug. I think it is a visual bug because after checking what I had in my normal inventory screen, it seemed that I actually got the right amount. It was just that there is a display bug on that salvage screen right there, but even in that case, maybe hold it off for now because you have 300 inventory slots and just wait for a brand new update. Otherwise, the only thing that I'm gonna mention, like I'm seeing a lot of people doing a few comparisons with Anthem, and yeah, a few of them can be made, like the patch notes and the fact that the game wasn't released in its best state. That kinda is a common thing, but it's nowhere near close to that. Trust me, I went through all of it. I went through the VIPs, to the demos, to the full game. I've covered it extensively, even all of the patches, and the devs back then were nowhere near as communicative as Crystal Dynamics is. They were nowhere near as prompt as they were with patch fixes, and it basically took them months to even attempt to fix the game, and when they did, they actually broke more things than fixing. So in this case, it's way better, though it could have been a much better experience. It doesn't mean that I'm cutting them any slack. Eventually I will stop that altogether, but for now I am looking forward to what they are doing next in terms of patches, and I'm kinda anticipating them. Hopefully you are of the same opinion too. But this is it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one, so peace out.